Hi guys, I'm Katelynn with FFL Diligence. I have my two top producers here, Nicolette and Renee.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So today they're going to talk a little bit about their transition from a previous company to FFL and why they made that and why FFL really.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Nicolette. I have been with FFL here for about 2 months now, but I have been in the insurance industry for about a year and a half. What about you?
So for me, I've been in the insurance industry 1 year. I think I'm going on to my 10th month. And I've been with FFL for 7 months.
What made you guys want to transition in the first place?
For me, I honestly didn't want to transition into insurance. I didn't want to do insurance anymore at all. I just felt really burnt out. I did it for about a year. Wasn't really making that much money that I thought I was going to make. Well, not that much money that I thought I was going to make. I didn't make any money at all. And I got to a point where I just decided to leave entirely. I decided to go do a different business. I got my real estate license and tried to do that for 4 months. And what eventually got me to think about FFL and to transition was there were a lot of people from my previous company that had come over here who I worked with very closely, and I always had looked up to them over at the previous company and realized they really weren't doing as well either. I thought it was just me, but I realized it was kind of everybody. So when I saw them come over here to FFL, I just kind of watched them for a few months, just kind of kept in touch, asked questions, watched the numbers they post. But I just didn't believe any of it was true. I would talk to them, here and there. I would ask if it was true. They would tell me it was true. And it wasn't until someone sent me a bank statement that I actually believed it. I don't know about you, Leilani, but I just had a really hard time believing that was actually money that we could make in this industry.
Yeah, Leilani, you came over as my admin actually. So when I first met you, you were not even thinking about doing insurance anymore. So what really sparked you back into the field and really wanting to be a life insurance agent again?
So like Nicolette, I was completely burnt out. We would need 2 podcasts if I needed to dive into why I made the switch. But I mean, completely burnt out. So I didn't really want to even dive too much back into it. I ended up pulling out, and after being an admin for you for about 6-7 months now, you can't help but want to go back. And after you see how many families you can help here, it's absolutely amazing. Just phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Watching Kate definitely made me start to believe in FFL. And I was a little shocked. And I said, if she can do that, if I could even do half that much, 6 months in, I would just be so shocked. But now I'm here, and in my 2nd month, I actually got paid. And when that happened, my mind was just blown.
Absolutely. And I'm on track for my best month right now, and it's just unbelievable you can do that part-time, where at another company you are putting in 100 hours every single week, and you're lucky if you can maybe help 4 families to about 10 families in a month.
What was your biggest month over there?
My biggest month over there, I think recorded was 12,000 and 100. So yeah.
And how much did you make?
I mean, that's a good question. What did I make? There was nothing about maybe 3,000, 4,000 from that.
My biggest month at my previous company was 13,000. I think I made about 5.
Wow.
What was the biggest challenge for both of you to, come from a previous company and make that leap of faith into Family First Life?
For me, it was worrying what other people were going to think, especially people at the previous company. I have friendships that I had before the company, friendships that I had made while working for the company. And the biggest challenge for me is, what are they going to think, because I think there's such a stigma around Family First Life. And I get why now, because, it's just incredible what we're able to do here, not only to help agents, but to actually be able to help families. And the biggest thing for me was just getting rid of those voices in my head of, what are people going to think of me, and focusing on the fact that it didn't matter because I was broke and I needed to do something. I had nothing else to lose at that point, like absolutely nothing. And I'm doing this because I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my family. I don't ever want to have to rely on anybody else to do that for me. And I saw an opportunity here with FFL. And, you know, when I talked to Bo and Sweeney about it, he said, Nicolette, give it 1 month. Just do 1 month. And if you come and you put in 100% of the effort that you put in where we were at previously, I promise you'll see the results. And if you don't like it, you can leave after that. But he's like, just try it, and I promise you'll see the results. And that's exactly what I did.
Love it. And for myself, it would be almost the same thing, just about as you, which was knowing that if I make the transition, I'm probably going to lose everyone I'm currently talking to, all my friendships I built over the year here. So that was a really hard transition, to make that switch, and going to just having trust, like, is this going to actually work out for me? Because it doesn't seem believable. So I put all my trust into the fact that Josh Williams came here, and just being able to talk to Nina, just amazing. She had me. After one conversation, I was like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think that's how it took me a while. It took me a few months of like convincing, where I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to stick to real estate. I just spent a month getting this license. I'm going to do it. And then Bowen called me and he said, well, what if you work with Katelynn? And I was like, I'm sign me up.
That's awesome. I didn't come from insurance, so I've heard rumors and things from other companies, but I couldn't be more grateful for all of the agents, really, but the agents that come over licensed that weren't making any money, to see them making money now and actually enjoying what they do is unbelievable. Family First Life has given all of us that opportunity. Well, I kind of want to talk about mindset, and just kind of how you guys keep that positive mindset and how important you think it is in this industry, because you guys have been in this industry for a while now, and touch on that for someone that's new.
I think mindset is absolutely everything in any business, but especially in this business. In any sales, really, but you just have to keep yourself, not every day is going to be a good day, but there is always something good in every day. And if you can find that, and if you can focus on that and focus on, I am going to fail, but I'm going to learn from it. Like keeping your mindset in a way where it's a growth mindset, and how can I better myself from this? How can I, learn? How can I move forward? And not necessarily, it's not always going to be rainbows and daisies and butterflies every single day, but keeping that, like, how can I grow from this? How can I get better from this? Like reflecting on everything. I think keeping your mindset in check is probably the most important thing, because some days you'll sit there, you'll dial the phone all day long and just get yelled at, or you go have 10 appointments on the day and nobody shows up, and the next day you'll go sell everyone you sit with. But on those bad days, if you let yourself get down, well, then you're going to be, if you're in a negative mindset, when you go the next day, you may not sell everybody you sit with. It's going to carry over. So you have to be able to kind of set that aside, even after every single appointment. And I think that's why, especially in this industry, it's absolutely crucial.
I agree with everything you said. You need to have a positive mindset with this industry as a whole. But as you were saying, you fail forward. You're not failing. You're just learning. That's what it is. And
it's true.
With that said, you can't ride the highs. You can't ride the lows. You just have to go with it, and just know when you're sitting with a family, even if you just got kicked out of someone's home beforehand, the next family you sit with still really needs your help. Don't take your baggage into their home. Like, you just need to make them priority right now. And you're resetting. Every home you're resetting. Every call you're resetting.
I think that's a really good point, and you bring that up. And like me personally, I'm a very emotional person, and that is something that I've had to really learn how to control, because I've carried it into my next appointment before, and then it's not me who suffers, it's the next client that suffers. And so for being in the industry for a long time now, or a year, I'm not coming into this brand new. I feel like at least I've gone through those battles a little bit more, but I still am an emotional person. So that's something I have to work on every single day. Okay, when I walk out of this appointment, what I do now is I call somebody. I say, okay, if I have to let it out, and if I'm mad, I let it out. but I always end it on, okay, but if I was in there and I could redo it, how would I have done it differently? So that way I don't do it again. And then I take the emotion out of it, so that way the next person I go and help, I don't spill that over into them, and they can get the best version of me to help them and help their family.
Yeah, exactly.
Just touching on mindset a little bit, how do you guys overcome all of the, negative people that, may not believe what you're doing, they don't believe in you, really cutting out certain things from your life in order to be very successful here?
Oof.
It's really not an easy thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do. I think that finding the people who have what you want, surrounding yourself with them. Like for me, my thing is I want to have time freedom. I want to have financial freedom. I want to be able to, do something for my family and for the future. And so I find those people that have those things or who also want those things, and that's who I'm going to spend my time with. And as far as people who, are going to tell me that, oh, I work too much, or you travel too much, or you're never home. I mean, it's not that, they're a bad person, or it's just they have different goals and a different vision, and that's going to end up holding me back. And so I need to focus on those people who are going to help drive me forward and who I can help drive forward. And it's not an easy thing to do, but it is necessary and it takes time. But I think it's really important.
There definitely needs to be a balance of your personal life and work life, and just doing the things that make you happy personally. Finding the time to fit it in somewhere, but also, finding like-minded people, because you just need someone who, at the end of the day, is going to push you for something more for yourself, for your family. And it's definitely rough when you're sitting there thinking, wow, I haven't seen my best friend in maybe a couple months now. I should probably, make some time for that. And, sometimes you just have to bite that. For Katelynn, for example, she unfortunately has to skip out on seeing her daughter sometimes. And I know that's rough for her, but she still has to push through it, because at the end of the day, this is going to be for her daughter. And at the end of the day, for myself, I'm just thinking about, I want to retire my mom. I want to be able to house my dad with me eventually. There's just so many things that I have on my mind that going out and drinking with friends, that's the last thing that I have on my mind right now. And it'd be nice if some people could understand that I just want to get through this so that eventually I can take a step back from having to do this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely would say, for me, I've let go of a lot of I don't want to go out and just drink. What is that going to do for me? What is that going to do for my family? What's it going to do for my mom? What's it going to do for my dad, for my sister? How is that going to help me propel forward? And it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just that's not my goal. That's not my vision. And not everybody's going to agree with that. And if that's the situation that you're in, I think you really have to kind of step back and evaluate, okay, well, what is it do you really want? Do you really want to retire your mom and have financial freedom? Is that more important to you? Or is it, I want to relax every weekend? And whatever you choose is okay, but, at the end of the day, if you're going to choose one where you want to retire your mom and move forward, you have to be surrounded by people who want the exact same thing, because they're not going to be the ones that encourage you on a Friday night to go to happy hour. They're going to be the ones on a Friday night who say, no, go to that last appointment. No, keep dialing until 9 p.m. That's who you should be surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding people with really strong whys here is key.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Well, where do you guys see yourself with FFL in a year from now?
Hopefully on track for integrity.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so hard to grasp the idea of what can actually happen in a year here. But I would say, by the end of 2022, I see myself with an agency. Crazy to say, but it's so possible here.
If somebody would want to work with you, can they just text or call you?
Yeah, so you could text me. It's 480-276-4009. If you text me, or you can call me and just leave me a voicemail. But I work mostly out of Arizona and California for right now.
Perfection. Mine is 530-966-8756. And I'm working over Oregon, Washington, and California right now.
I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to work with you girls.
Me either.
Just one thing to add in, just for Orlando, FFL is the truth.
The truth. For Orlando. Well, thanks for getting on here with us today, guys. We'll see you guys on the leaderboards.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.